Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a video covering the latest news and gossip for Elite Dangerous. In this video we'll be looking at Elite Dangerous Mac Beta is released, the new Steam release for Elite is here, and the latest information for the 1.3 Powerplay update. Yes, the long-awaited Mac client for Elite Dangerous is finally playable. For those people who have beta access for the Windows release, you're now able to download, play and provide feedback on the Mac beta client. For those of you who do own a Mac, you'll be needing some pretty hefty specs according to the most recent information, but Frontier has said that although these are initial requirements, optimization is always a work in progress, and are working hard to reduce the minimum requirements as they did so with the Windows client. Now, I don't own a Mac myself, but judging from my experience with the Windows beta, optimization was a key area in which they focused a lot of their time and effort on. In the early days, it barely ran on my system, like seriously it was really laggy. But after the weeks and months went by, it got better and better, so now you can see with our videos, we're getting a pretty smooth 60 frames per second on a mid-range PC. So this is why I wouldn't be too concerned about those requirements at this point. I mean, it's early days for the Mac client, and hopefully we'll see some optimizations in the near future for those without those most ludicrously expensive Macs. And suddenly, a wild Steam appears. Yeah, this one caught me by surprise too, as with many others in the community. A post popped up on the forums saying that ED was suddenly on Steam, and within mere hours the thread was over 70 pages long with people requesting Steam keys. But before we get into that, let's understand what the difference is between the Steam client and the standard client. Well, basically none. There are rumours, and I emphasise rumours, that the Steam client will not allow you to be able to purchase the expansions when they are released, and that you'll have to use the launcher-based version for that. I mean, this is yet to be confirmed or denied by Frontier, but rumours like this is what causes bad press, even without any evidence to support the rumour. So whether or not these rumours turn out to be true, it doesn't matter, because right now they're hearsay. So as for Steam keys, well, when the post I talked about earlier was first posted, I managed to post very early on asking whether or not existing players would get a Steam key and, you know, not have to add the game as a non-Steam game. And I got a response from one of the developers explaining how I could add the game as a non-Steam game. This was a tad upsetting considering that my post wasn't read properly, but this caused a massive lashback from the community, and with a majority of players wanting actual Steam keys. Now personally, I'm not too bothered if we get them or not. I mean, it'd be nice, but the gameplay is not affected by it. What I would like to do is create guides on Steam, you know, write a review as an experienced player, share our videos on the community hub, share screenshots and all that fun stuff that you can only do if you own the game directly on Steam. But it seems that Frontier overlooked this when releasing it on Steam and didn't realise that a lot of players really wanted the game to be added to their Steam library officially. It's great to have all your games in one place, and especially since Frontier has said that Steam will be able to update the game with patches, this should actually help alleviate those client update issues that a lot of players seem to be struggling with, such as, you know, people are reporting very slow download speeds when they're trying to update, or it's very sporadic and sometimes disconnects. If you're updating it through Steam, you don't have to rely on Frontier's servers, and it's relying then on Steam servers, which seem to be more or less stable most of the time. What I can say on this matter is that with the massive thread that is still being discussed at this time, Frontier did turn around and say that they are now looking into the possibilities of giving out Steam keys to existing owners of the game. So this isn't a guarantee, nor is it a complete no from Frontier, but what I will say is that it may take a little bit longer than those have hoped for, since there are probably a lot of politics behind this sort of decision, let alone all the technicalities that need to be in place for this to actually happen. So for those hoping for Steam keys, just hang tight. We might get lucky, but don't be too disappointed if it turns out we can't get one. Remember, the game still remains the same regardless of what version that you're running on. Oh, and to add to this, head on over to those starter systems and give some of our new Steam commanders some assistance. There have been some reports, or numerous reports in fact, of players griefing these new Steam players in their starter system. So these new commanders could use a bit of assistance and a bit of a helping hand. And finally, some information has come out about the 1.3 Powerplay update. Although it's a small bit of information, it still's already sparked some enthusiasm for miners, which seems to currently be a completely dead career in the game. They have announced that among a plethora of new major and minor changes, one of them are drones. You'll be able to purchase and use drones to scoop up not only minerals mined from asteroids, but canisters too. You'll have different types of mining drones, one that go directly to a target, and those that will scout within a nearby radius and scoop up the nearest object to you. I won't go into too much detail on this now, but all the info is available in the post, which I'll link in the description below. But what I will say is that they're hyping up this update pretty well. By releasing tiny amounts of info while saying it's like their biggest content update yet, it's got minds brainstorming of what kind of content will be available in this update. It seems Frontier have taken a lot of criticism surrounding the lack of things to do on board, and they are pushing a ton of it in this update apparently. My hopes is that with a patch as big as they say that this is, that there will be a significant beta period where testers will manage to find and help squish those bugs before release, because, well, after all, we don't really want another 1.1 release, do we? So yeah, well, I think that's it. So what do you guys hope for in the 1.3 update? Leave a comment below, let me know. It'd be very cool to see what you guys are looking forward to. But if you do want any further information regarding what was talked about, all the links and all the information I've gathered should be below in that description. So if you have anything to say, questions, comments, suggestions, you know where to leave them. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, fly safe.